This is seat 11A. One man sat here, and he's the only one who lived. On June 12th, 2025, Air India Flight AI 171 crashed just 30 seconds after takeoff. As the plane tore apart, the emergency exit next to him burst open. He unbuckled, he crawled, he jumped. Dazed, injured, and surrounded by fire, he ran from the wreckage, the only one to do so. Experts say it was luck, physics, and a single second of instinct. Vishwas lives with their memory, and the question we all ask, why him? This is the story of the man in seat 11A, the lone survivor.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all who are listening from across the world. You are tuned into the Mr. Freemason channel, and thank you for joining me for yet another live. Today's date is the 29th of June 2025. So I'll give it a few minutes and just wait for a few more people to join us. A big shout out to you, Harry, in the chat. As always, we'll do a roll call at the beginning of the show. So if everybody just wants to drop down in the chat section where you're all listening from, and I will get up set up shortly for today's live show. So today's topics, we'll be covering the Indian plane crash, Jeff Bezos' wedding, and taking a look at Logan Paul and how numerology astrology has affected Logan Paul this year, as it is his enemy year and he is born in the year of the pig. So we'll be taking a look at them topics. So I'll give it a few more minutes and then we will get on with the show. So there's been a bit more information with regards to the Indian plane crash, which is what I'm going to cover and go back over. There's new details with regards to that as well. So we'll be looking into the numbers of how they affect the Indian plane crash, also surrounding Jeff Bezos' wedding, and the karma that Logan Paul is facing currently at the minute. So we'll give it a couple more minutes. Another shout out to Wiz. Thanks for joining us, Wiz, again. Hope you're doing okay. Harry says in the chat that he saw the plane crash with his own eyes. He was there. Whereabouts was you, Harry? If you expand on some more details, and it might be actually quite interesting information if there's anything you can shed some light on. So we'll start with the date today, which is the 29th of June. The 29th gives us an 11-day. 2 plus 9 equals 11. 11 is the first master number from out of 11, 22, and 33. As always, we'll run down the numbers at the beginning of the show, just so those who are new to the channel know what we're talking about and what numbers to spot. If you are new here at the channel, we like to cover numerology, astrology, Freemasonry, traditions, and also hidden knowledge, along with some rituals. And the reason that I say with regards to rituals as well is this might expand a bit on the Indian plane crash and also Jeff Bezos' wedding. So give it a couple more minutes and we'll get on with the show and get on with things. So I'll run down the numbers that you will normally see with regards to numerology astrology in news, events, and world catastrophes. These numbers are the numbers 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 19, 22, 23, and 33. I was actually just looking at some news before I got on the live stream with regards to the BBC news event and the bans surrounding Palestine, regards to a band called Kneecap, I believe, and the picture that's posted in the media article is them wearing black and white checkered clothing on an offset, which I thought was quite strange for an item of clothing to wear and that colour to be in the newspaper highlighted surrounding that news story. So this year is the enemy sign for the pig. This year is obviously the year of the snake, and the enemy sign being the pig. Other people to keep an eye out for towards this year and the end of this year are people such as Kendall Jenner, Dua Lipa, Gigi Hadid, and Megan Thee Stallion, because these people are also born in the energy sign of the pig. So as much as we said Logan Paul at the beginning of the year, who's also born in the energy of the pig, and to keep an eye out for him, we also said with regards to these people as well towards the end of the year. So there's still 6 months left of the year yet. So for these people's names to pop up that I've just mentioned, such as Kendall Jenner, Dua Lipa, Gigi Hadid and Megan Thee Stallion, don't be surprised if you do see them in the media. So without any further more delay, we'll jump straight into the video and do a breakdown and decode numerology astrology. So we had the plane crash in India. If you were here with us at previous live when we covered the battle that was going on between India and Pakistan, we said that the reason that was happening this year is because both them years were founded in 1947, which are the enemy sign of the snake this year, which are also basically the pig sign. So much like Logan Paul, Pakistan and India were both founded in a pig year, which is why in their enemy year of the snake this year, you will find that they've come to loggerheads, which also ties in with the Indian plane crash. Now, the reason this ties in with the Indian plane crash is to do with numerology and also to do with the passengers that were on that plane. Now, we were told that there were Britons on there from the UK. We was told that the survivor was Pakistani, and it also further information came out that there was also Portuguese passengers on the plane, which will be more relevant as I go forward. So first of all, starting off, we had the seat number, which was 11A. The fact that he also gave up his chair, apparently, right at the very last minute before the plane took off. Also relates to Final Destination, if you've ever seen that film, where he's on a plane and kind of foresees the plane exploding and gets asked to move seats right at the very last minute, which also coincides with the Indian plane crash. The plane and model of the plane was a Dreamliner. Dreamliners have been running for 11 years in service. So you had his seat, which was 11A. The Dreamliner plane he was on had been in service for 11 years. And I want you to pay close attention to the number of the hospital bed where he was interviewed. Because if you look over on his right shoulder, you'll see that on the wall is also the number 11.
Is broken.
Yeah.
My seat is broken.
Yeah.
Then I see the page little bit.
Yeah.
Then I will try to come out.
What was the situation yesterday? Can you describe for us, please?
I can't explain. Everything happened in my eye. I can't.
How did you manage to escape?
I just
Did you pull the emergency doors?
no. Emergency door is broken.
Yeah.
My seat.
A. One man sat here. And this is seat 11A. One man sat here, and he's the only one who lived. On June 12th, 2025, Air India Flight AI 171 crashed just 30 seconds after takeoff. 241 people died instantly. But in seat 11A sat Vishwash Kumar Ramesh, the man who survived what no one else could. As the plane tore apart, the emergency exit next to him burst open. He unbuckled, he crawled, he jumped. Dazed, injured, and surrounded by fire, He ran from the wreckage, the only one to do so. Experts say it was luck, physics, and a single second of instinct. Vishwash lives with their memory, and the question we all ask, why him? This is the story of the man in seat 11A, the lone survivor of Air India Flight AI 171.
Okay, so the flight was AI 171. AI stands for, obviously, Airlines India, from what I'm guessing. It also stands for artificial intelligence, which you would use if you wanted to infiltrate any kind of computer circuit or system, such as air traffic control or even a plane. There are other things as well. So the 11th letter of the alphabet is K. So he was sat in seat 11. He was a Dreamliner 11 years in service, and he was in hospital bed number 11. If you transpire that into numerology, astrology, and letters, that actually gives you KKK. And if you think that these people don't exist or aren't part of the fraternity or intertwined in some state, then you'd be very much mistaken, because they are, which is why I think this was probably more to do with a ritual of some sort, bearing in mind the letters and the numbers. Now, as I go on further with regards to the details of this, I'll let this guy speak first a bit about the Indian plane crash, and then I'll go into the details of the passengers, and you'll see why that's quite relevant with regards to the countries that they come from. Because there was also one, I believe, I'm not too sure, it might have been more than one, but there was also a Canadian passenger, which will match in and tie in with regards to Pakistan, UK, and Portugal.
This Air India situation done turned into some real Final Destination shit. So we all know it's one person that survived that plane crash. Seen the video footage of him. But y'all don't know how he really got off that plane. First and foremost, the seat 11A that he was in when he escaped wasn't the seat that he was supposed to be in. So basically, before he got on that flight, he switched his seat to a window seat. Again, Final Destination shit. That seat that he switched to was right by the emergency exit. And you know how he said he got out, right? The plane crashed. He got out of seat 11A, went to the emergency exit, and jumped out the plane. That's some crazy shit. And of course, he beat the odds. Because usually when people survive plane crashes, they're in the back of the plane, not in the middle. That right there is some Final Destination shit. But listen to this shit. From what they're telling us, that plane crashed because it had a major power outage. But get this, somebody was on that plane for 2 hours before that plane crashed. And I know you're like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna tell you right now. It was a guy that flew from Delhi to that same airport on that same plane, but he got off. But this guy said when he was on that plane was experiencing some crazy shit. Matter of fact, look at this. But listen to this Final Destination shit. He said when he was on that flight, nothing was working, which means that those passengers that was on that same plane before it landed and before it took off again could have had the same fate as those 241 people. That's some Final Destination shit. I can tell you this much. For the person that jumped off that plane, for the person that was on that plane and said that he got off that plane, I know for a fact that they know it's a God now. Yeah, I'm out.
So just a quick shout out to John Francis. Thanks for joining us, John. So yeah, turn our attention back to the Indian plane crash. Obviously, it's an 11-year-old Boeing, Dreamliner, is what the details was with regards to the number 11 there. Also, with regards surrounding the passengers that were on the plane as well, we were told obviously there were Britons who were from the UK. It also transpires that there was also people who are Portuguese, a Canadian, and obviously Indian nationals as well. Now, touching on the countries, as we've covered with regards to animal energies, we covered the UK and England in a previous live. So just for an example, and to reiterate what we said before, England was founded in 927 AD. That was a pig year. The United Kingdom was founded in 1717, year of a pig. Even the Grand Master Lodge of England was founded in 1707. That's also a pig year. Portugal was founded in 1143, and 1143 is also a pig year. And we know that Canada is also a pig year because you have Mark Carvey, or Carney, depending how his name's pronounced, is born in a snake year. And we disclosed and discussed before how Canada was not going to have a very good year this year, as it is being ruled over Mark, who's born under a snake energy, and Canada was founded in a pig. So all 4 countries that are named in regards to the Indian plane crash are all countries that are founded in a pig year. So we always like to bring receipts here when we state claims in numerology, astrology, and how they match up. So rather than just come here with claims and say, this is how this is, we like to come with some receipts and break them down so that everybody can kind of understand and follow along as we go. So then we turn our attention to Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos' wedding celebrations, we were told. There's no actual wedding going on over this 3-day period. They've got a whole month from what we know, or several months with different events. This was held in Venice. This was started and held on the 26th, and it went for 3 days, and it finished, I believe, which would be today on the 29th. And I'm going to say and break down how these are relevant, with the dates being the 26th, the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th, which is today. Because if you take them 4 dates, the 26th is 2 and 6 together gives you the number 8. 8 is the number of money. It's also the number of religion, such as ceremonies or wedding ceremonies. It also went on to the 27th. 2 and 7 equals 9, the number of beginning and endings and completion. It also then rolled on to the 28th. The 28th we know is the number of business, wealth and success, which is why Apple was started on a 28th day. Elon Musk is born on the 28th, and Bill Gates is also born on the 28th. This even goes as far as the man that runs Russia. He got married to his first wife on the 28th, and his first daughter was also born on the 28th. So this just shows you how these people higher up in society, and who have major influence and wealth, know how numerology works. So the 29th, the 29th would have given you 11, which is the number today, which is the number of the leader, old soul, someone who's the mouthpiece, spokesperson. It's normally very charismatic or charming. The celebrations also went on for 3 nights. Like we said at the beginning of the show, the numbers to look out for: 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 19, 22, 23, and 33. I don't know if some of you have caught the story that was broke the past couple of days with regards to a prison officer who sadly lost his life. If you haven't, go and have a look at that. He passed at the age of 33, sadly lost his life outside a gym, as someone decides to let off a pew-pew, should we say, is the only kind of word I could describe it. So sadly he lost his life here at the age of 33, which is why we say the numbers surrounding crime events or things that are surrounded in superstition or mysteriousness, you will find that these numbers come up time and time again. Number 3, most prevalent because it's associated to the 3rd letter of the alphabet, which is C, and stands for the criminal, which you'll find out when we come to Logan Paul. So I did have a look at the animal energies to see whether there was anything in it with regards to Lauren Sanchez, his fiance. She's born under a rooster energy, so she's someone you would definitely not want to pick a fight with. She's also born on the 19th, which is 1 and 9 equals 10, which you drop the 0, as zeros don't carry any energy. So she's born under alpha male and aggression energy. So behind closed doors, she probably bullies Jeff a bit, to be honest with you, but they would probably never tell you that in public. Yeah, with regards to Jeff Bezos, I believe he's born on the 12th, 1 and 2 equals 3, also the number of the criminal. So as we move forward, I'm just going to revert to one of the comments. Harry's dropped a comment with regards to date of birth, I believe. 8th of January 2025. Okay, I'll just pause the video a minute so we don't go any further. Okay, so obviously 8 is the number of karma, 8 is the number of money. So people born on 8 days are the businessman or the businesswoman. You'll find they're very good at finances. They normally work in banking. I know a lady who works quite local. She's born on an 8 day. She actually runs and manages the post office and money. So that just gives you an example. She was quite surprised when I did a reading for her. So yeah, you'll be with a January as well. So that'd be the 1. So that'd give you a 9. And the 7, so that'll give you 16, which also gives you 1 and 6, which reverts back to 7. So born under 8, which is the number of money, such as Kanye West, he was born on 8, and also being a 7 life path, your number of the genius, or whoever it is the number of the genius. So they should have money come to them quite easily. They shouldn't have to work too hard for it, to be honest with you. If they're born under a 7 life path, the only problem with 7s are they're quite natural born loners. They don't work very well in groups. They tend to work on their own initiative and their own kind of work pace and speed. They tend to get better results that way. They can sometimes be quite stubborn because of their intelligence, and they find it hard to mix socially with other people, because it's very hard for them to find people who are socially intellectual as what they are. So to hold a conversation, they struggle, because finding people who are as intelligent as them is quite difficult. Thanks, Simon, for joining us. Yeah, I don't know about that comment. You might get put in a naughty corner for comments like that, Simon. So, yeah, you might just have to tone it down a bit. And Harry as well. So, yeah, thanks for you two joining us. I'll just let you guys chat amongst yourself for the time being. So, yeah, 8s are people who basically come from no money to then coming into money, who then sometimes end up losing money. I'll give you an example. I know someone who's born an 8. So he lost his dad when he was young and came into a lot of life insurance money from his dad. He spent most of that by the time he was 20. He then ended up having to do part-time jobs and work to, obviously he had no funds or anything to rely on. And then sadly lost his mum last year. And as far as I know, ended up with a bit of money from that. He's also born under dog energy, and last year was his enemy sign of the dog. He's also got a dog as well, and he lost his mum last year in his enemy year. So also the clothing attire, I had black and white offset, like I mentioned, with regards to the band Kneecap that have been in the media today. They were pictured in the media wearing black and white clothes, striped, exactly the same as Lawrence Sanchez is shown before you. And I would say this was probably more of a ritual ceremony. The fact you had people such as Oprah Winfrey and other celebrities all meeting in one place. Also people from the finance world as well. So, and from what I was told, they had to wear masks at these celebrations and ceremonies, which is a kind of a little bit like the film Eyes Wide Shut, or the other film that was made by Stanley Kubrick. which brings us on to Logan Paul. So Logan Paul was born in 1995, year of the pig. He was born on the 1st of April, so he's born under alpha male energy, believe it or not. Also enjoys fighting, aggressive, accident prone. So yeah, anything to do with associated with alpha male behavior. So the news about Logan Paul, like I said at the beginning of the year, karma would be coming to Logan Paul, born in the energy year of the pig, being the enemy sign of the snake, 2025, which we're currently in. Logan Paul ran a couple of crypto coins a couple of years ago, which were basically scams, or classed as what they call rug pulls. He was never pulled up about this. It was kind of swept under the carpet, and he tried to blame other people. But it being the enemy year of Logan Paul, and Logan Paul having quite a big mouth, it's only the fact that Logan Paul has tried to file court paperwork for his own finances and his own details not being disclosed in such a NDA is the only reason that this court stuff has been brought to light. So Logan Paul's actually shot himself in the foot by trying to put things in place because they've now brought them to attention to the public. So not a smart or wise move on behalf of Logan Paul. And you would have thought, knowing that it's his enemy year this year, he would have just kept his head down, because in your enemy year, you do not take on battles or fights because you won't win them. So the thing that Logan Paul was pulled up was a coin he launched called Crypto Zoo and Dink Donk. He actually tried to stage a video recording with one of his staff.
You told me I couldn't say anything because Eddie was being investigated by the FBI and that was confidential information. It's all over the internet. I've been let on for a year, bro. I've also asked you to audit the contract for the game and see where the money went so many times, and that never happened either. Do you see how this looks?
I see how it looks.
What did you do?
Tried to help to get the project done. That's all I did.
I think there's a piece of information being left out.
Okay. Well, there's no information that I'm not telling you.
Well. Logan Paul just upgraded his career from influencer to full-blown FBI suspect, all thanks to his epic Crypto Zoo dumpster fire. ComfyZilla absolutely torched Logan Paul with a 3-part YouTube expose that felt less like content and more like a public execution with bonus receipts. He dragged Logan's entire Crypto Zoo circus and straight up labeled him as a serial scammer in front of millions. He interviewed victims who lost real money, dropped screenshots of shady convos, leaked emails, and exposed dev team drama department by himself.
So it kind of brings us to the end of Logan Paul. So I hope the information in the live stream has been helpful to you. It kind of just backs up and verifies how numerology astrology works. Even when I've said with regards to Logan Paul and things, how they've turned out for him so far, I can see things going a lot worse for him towards the end of the year. I don't think this is even the beginning of it, so to speak. But if there's any questions anybody else would like to ask before we wrap the stream up, thank you very much for all of you being here and your participation. As always, if you'd like to learn more information about the streams and numerology astrology, you can grab yourself a copy of the book Breaking the Matrix Numerology Astrology, which is available on Amazon. If you go to the channel, Mr. Freemason, there should be the links as well in the bio with regards to books, content, and anything else to do with the channel, so to speak. And on that note, I'm going to wrap the stream up. So thank you very much for being here. You've been absolutely awesome. I've been Mr. Freemason. Until next time, I'm out of here.